Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name Galuh Isbiyantari Putri and you can call me Galuh. I'm from English Education Study Program. Okay. In here I will presentation about my thesis proposal. The title is Analysis of Students' Perception of the Use of the English Speaking Practice Application as a Tool for Learning to Speak English. Okay, Chapter 1, Introduction. Background of the study. Why perception? 1. According to Latifah, perception is the process of detecting a stimulus. This meaning is built based on existing physical representation with the knowledge we already have. Number 2. Perceptions are particularly important in the realm of teaching and learning because instructors, lecturers, and teachers must take students' preference into account before developing instructional materials and lessons. Why speaking? Number 1, because speaking is one of the productive skills, which is the ability to use language orally through sound to present information, produce ideas, and express meaning in order to interact with another member of the community. Number 2, according to Brown in Aslita, speaking is an interactive process of meaning construction, including information production, reception, and processing. Number 3, speaking is one of the language skills used in everyday life. Talking is used as communication because it will be more effective if done with speak. The next, why speaking English practice application? Number 1, because by using applications, we can do everything more easily. And number 2, Sulaiman said that speaking English practice is a medium can be seen and heard in carrying out communication. One of the conversation methods is an application. And number 3, because by using this application, students can learn in a new way, so it can attract student interest in learning. Okay, next, problem statement. 1. What are student perception of the English speaking practice application which is used as a learning medium? And number 2, how do teachers assess their students' interest in using English speaking practice application in English learning? Okay, next, objectives of study. Number 1, to describe the perception expressed by students regarding the use of the English speaking practice application as a learning medium. And number 2, to find out how students are interested in using games in learning English. Okay, next, significance of the study. Number 1, for teachers. The results of this research reveal that this application can be bridged to make it easier for teachers to explain and make it easier for students to grasp the meaning of the teacher explanation. And number 2, for students, can increase the student enthusiasm for learning English because they learn using new method. Okay, chapter 2, literature review. 1. Perception. Definition. Abdurrahman, which defines perception as a limitation used in the process of understanding and interpreting sensory information or intellectual ability to plan the meaning of data received from various senses. Factors influencing perception. Factors that influence perception. Perception has a many factors. According to Wagito Nurrahman, this perception is influenced by factors that have been classified under. Number 1. Okay. External elements. Essentially, the stimuli and characteristics that stand out in the area are responsible for the object that comprise a subtitle determination or unity. These factors include social and environmental influence. Number 2, internal factors are factors related to the ability of self that comes from a relationship with factors, mental, intellectual, and bodily. Number 2, speaking. Definition of speaking. Speaking is one of the linguistic abilities that allows a person to express his thought, feelings, or facts in spoken form. In addition, speaking is one of the productive skills, which is the ability to use language orally through sound to present information, produce ideas, and express meaning in order to interact with another member of the community. Speaking is comprised of numerous components such as pronunciation, listening, and grammar skills in both verbal and non-verbal contexts. The components of speaking. There are 5 components of speech to be assessed: pronunciation, grammar, vocabulary, fluency, comprehension as Brown. Number 1, vocabulary. A language vocabulary is the total amount of words it contains. It is defined as the foreign language term. Number 2, grammar. Grammar is one of the components of the language. Students must comprehend it in order to be able to speak English. Number 3, fluency and accuracy. Fluency is the amount to which a pupil employs a language without hesitation or awkward pause. Number 4, pronunciation. Pronunciation is crucial for communication because sounds convey meaning. Number 5, comprehension. Understanding is defined as the capacity to comprehend something as a result of a reasonable understanding of the subject or as the knowledge of what the situation is like in reality. Okay, the next, speaking English practice application. Definition: Sulaiman said that speaking English practice is a medium can be seen and heard in carrying out communication. One of the conversation method in application. Advantage: more efficient, access easier, more affordable cost, and knowledge is growing. Disadvantage: internet access. Okay, next, previous study. The first, the title is Student Perception on Online Application in Speaking Skill. Research gap of this research is that research focus on examining online application as a whole and does not mention specific. Meanwhile, my research conduct focus on researching the application of English speaking practice in learning English speaking, and the research location in this journal is at Indraprastha University Jakarta, while my research location at STKIP-PBING Jombang. Second, the title is Student Perception of an EFL Vocabulary Learning Mobile Application. Research gap from this research is researching English vocabulary skills in mobile application. Meanwhile, in my research, I examine speaking skill in the application of English learning, because in such mobile application, it may hinder the development of complex speech or speech. So, in my research, I use an application that can be used to practice English speaking or pronunciation. Next, chapter 3, research method. The design in this research is to use a qualitative descriptive method, because by using descriptive qualitative methods, we can describe how and what is research in detail. Context of the study. This research will be carried out at STKIP-PBING Jombang, which is location on Jalan Patimura, nomor 20 Sengon, Kecamatan Jombang, Jombang Regency, East Java. In this research, the study were STKIP-PBING Jombang students majoring in English education. This research was carried out from the beginning of February to the end of June 2024 this year. Collecting data. In this research, the data collection used was interview open, because by using interview, we will get answers directly from the parties concerned regarding the theme or topic we are proposing. The next data collection is observation. By using observation, we can see or observe how humans behave. And the last one is using literature study. By using literature study, we can search for information in library books. Next, analysis data. Number 1, data reduction. By using data reduction, we can simplify the data we have obtained so that it suits our needs, and of course we can easily obtain information. Number 2, data representation. The presentation of the data itself is used after simplifying the data by means of data reduction. Data can be represented in various forms, for example, graphs, charts, and so on. The presentation of this data ensures that the data can be displayed neatly, systematically, and arranged in a pattern. Number 3, drawing conclusion. The process of drawing conclusion can only be carried out when all the varied data is simplified, arranged, or displayed using certain media. Then it can be understood easily. Validating data. Number 1, triangulation method. The triangulation method is carried out by comparing information or data in different ways. Number 2, triangulation between researchers. Triangulation between researchers is carried out by using more than one person in data collection and analysis. Number 3, data source triangulation. Data source triangulation is exploring the truth of certain information through various methods and sources of data acquisition. Number 4, theoretical triangulation. The final result of qualitative research is in the form of formulation of information or a thesis statement. The next, closed questionnaire. By using a closed questionnaire, respondent can only answer according to what has been presented by the research. So, there are no other answer options. For example, very interesting, interesting, not interesting, and very unattractive. Okay, this is the reference. Okay, finish. This is my presentation about my thesis proposal. Before we close this video, thank you for Miss Rini, Lindawati, and friends for watching this video. More or less sorry. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.